Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. You hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview.
Right on, man. I like
Well,
what's the heavy debriefings?
yeah, yes, it is.
That's the guy. I like that name.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been doing this for about 12 years now and just about
Wow.
900 interviews. You're 895 for me.
Right on, man. That's a lot of work.
Oh, definitely. And that goes both ways too. I mean, you've been putting in a lot of work, and it's great to be able to talk about that coming up mid-September through Nuclear Blast, a brand new album.
Right, man. It was tough to get out, with the COVID in the middle of it. So it's a relief to see it coming out. It's good news for me.
Oh, definitely. So, thinking about that in the midst of it, I mean, obviously, you were able to release some singles around the time and everything. Like, how does it feel knowing that this album is finally going to see the light of day?
It's a relief. It's a big because we've been waiting years, and then you get it done, and the record label says, "Well, it's going to come out next year." It's like, everywhere you turn, you just get set back. But finally, it's coming out, and it feels good.
Oh, definitely. And I can attest to that because I've gotten the chance to be able to check out this album this week, and I just absolutely love everything about it. So, I mean, whether it's one of the slower tempos, whether it's more of the grindcore sound, of course, Cocaina is just a perfect way to cap off the album. I just love
Right.
everything about this.
It just runs right through. I put it in, and I just next thing you know, I listened to the whole thing. For me, being around metal so long, it's hard to do that with the metal. Put it in and listen to the whole thing. It's not like Rain and Blood used to be. Jam the whole way through. And this one that kind of gave me that feeling. So I felt good about it. I feel happy about it coming out.
Oh, definitely. And of course, being a longtime fan, I absolutely feel the same way. And it's just great to see an album like this seeing the light of day too, because it hits so hard, and we definitely need something like that in 2023. Of course,
And
with it getting sidetracked into this year, it's like we could have used it back in 2022, but I think it was absolutely worth the wait.
right, yeah, it's a relief seeing it come out. Now, do you know Spanish at all, or are you?
Very, very little, just very basic stuff, but I was able to
Well, you
catch
know
up
what
on
you
some of it.
what you're gonna if you ever know somebody who knows Spanish, play one of our records for them and see what they say, and that'll light you up too. That will light you up again. You're like, oh wow, it'll be a whole door open for you.
Yeah, I definitely should do that. And yeah,
Yeah,
I do
just
have a
yeah.
few people like that.
Some guys that interviewed me, they said, "Oh, I took it to my Spanish class and showed." Oh, I go, "That's exactly what we wanted. That's exactly what we wanted." And yeah, that's a new door for you if you ever get to do that.
Yeah,
Any of our records will work.
I wish I wish I had a school to take it to. I mean, it sounds like a
Right,
fun time.
right.
Oh, awesome. So, thinking about that, I mean, what was it like to start working on this album?
Well, we started out together writing it, and taking our time, and then COVID hit, and it just like shut everything down. It's like, what do we do now? And well, send me the tracks, or send me, do the vocals on this, and we started sending it around, all over the world. It seems like, and it just kind of dragged on. Or you get it and go, no, I don't. You have some time to listen. You go, no, I'm going to do it over. So there was a lot of things like that going on. So it was different, but we got it done. I mean, at the end of the day, we were all happy.
Yeah, and I'm glad to hear that too. I mean, I know that the territories that the band covers and everything, and just being able to show off all the different aggressive sides that's going along with it. What was it like for you to be able to pen the lyrics this time around?
Well, it was like we had time, I guess, because we knew it wasn't going to come out soon, with the COVID going on. So I had a chance to get some good subjects, go modern subjects, like politically correct is one of the songs, and it's deep state. Estado Profundo is deep state, and different subjects like that, or a Mexorcista, the exorcisms online, these subjects like that are new. I mean, they weren't around when we started, so I got a chance to go into some of those things.
And that's so cool as well too. I mean, of course, there's so many different takes that you can have in the state of the world, but at least on the positive side, it always leads to some great lyrical content.
Right. There's a lot of good subjects. I mean, we had Trump for a while going, a couple Trump's, singles out and stuff, and those are fun. I love those Trump songs. But now that we're talking the Trump songs, about 6 months or 8 months after the last one came out, I got a knock on the door, and it was the FBI Secret Service with bulletproof vests on and guns knocking on my door, when holding a single, like, did you make this? I'm just like, yeah. They came to my door looking for me, and they would search the house to make sure I had like a stockpile of guns and all types of crazy shit. I told them, yeah, it's just a joke thing, man. It's just, I'm not like, they thought I was like a real Mexican, revolutionary guy, Che Guevara, getting an army together or something like that. They came, coming out with the guns and shit. It just blew my mind. We've done politically songs like with Pete Wilson, governor of California in the '90s, when we killed him in the intro. I go, they're gonna come get me, and they never did. So we did this Trump thing. They're not gonna do nothing. And sure enough, they came to my door, wanting to take me. I told them, just go ahead, arrest me, take me in, do whatever you have to do, but you're gonna make me rich and famous. And I think that's when they just looked at me. They just stopped what they're doing, and they just like closed their briefcase and said, "Okay, we're out of here." Go ahead and just take me then. Because they were asked. They had profile questions like, "Why do you hate your mother?" I don't hate my mother. What are you talking about? Why does your family hate you? My family don't hate me. You're trying to force me into a profile they had, and it's just like, what are you guys doing? So yeah, that was it was a shock when I opened the door. Unbelievable but Trump knows me. He's we know each other now.
That is absolutely insane.
It is. I mean, I've done it before and nothing ever happened. Now with this guy, boom, a knock on the door.
Oh, just wait till I hear COVID 666.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, that was a good one. I feel I get a lot of Chinese people and stuff, but but that was the people blaming the Chinese and stuff like that. It's like kind of funny to me.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, again, just like thinking of all the different lyrical content and everything, and of course the great music behind it. I mean, you have such a great band, and it's so great to see that despite all the trials and tribulations over the last several years, that you guys are still going strong here. You got the new album coming out next month, and of course touring as well too. I'm so glad that you're going to be getting back on the road.
Yeah, we've been doing quite a bit of touring since the COVID thing. I mean, it's like we got to catch up. It's like everything we had it just went away. It was a tough time for us, and yeah, we're loving it. We just came back from Europe, and our tour went great over there with doing the Matando Güeros 30th anniversary tour. It was great. We've never played the whole album like that before. I mean, when it came out, we didn't play for 10 years later. We never toured at the beginning. We never did press or anything. We just put the records out, and they sold themselves. So it was good to see people really into it over there and selling out a lot of shows. It's the best Europe tour we've ever had.
And I'm so glad to hear that too, because that is such a fantastic album, and I'm glad to see that it did get the live representation that it deserves.
Yeah. Like I said, we never played it before when it came out. There was we couldn't tour because all the guys were in other bands, and everybody who joins Brujeria right away, their other band gets big and huge and famous, and it's like the magic touch. We had Billy of Faith No More at the beginning, and he goes, Faith No More didn't work. We toured with Metallica. We couldn't sell records, blah, blah, blah. It's done. And I said, just wait. And like 3 months later, they got nominated for a Grammy, and they exploded. He was saying, I'm going to do Brujeria full time now because Faith No More is done. And look what happened. And so everybody who joins Brujeria, same thing happens. Boom, their other band gets big, and I get stuck. I'm just here waiting for them to come back. So it's been, it was cool seeing them get, do their thing and stuff. But at the end of the day, it was like 12 years before we got on the road.
Oh, definitely. So thinking about that, like for right now, like how are you feeling about the lineup?
Well, the lineup's changed because Nick went out sick in the middle of a tour, and so we had to be replaced like right there. And it turns out that the new drummer we got is really good. He changed the band. I got new blood in it because he's a younger guy, and and they all gelled right away. And that's the lineup we're taking out now, which is, probably the best lineup we've had since the beginning. And it's, like you said, the live shows are really, they're really doing good, really doing well with this lineup. And you wouldn't know anybody in it. I couldn't give you a famous name.
And that says so much about the power of the music, and just having that anonymity going out throughout the band, and just being able to focus on the music and put on such a great live show. And that's what the exciting thing about when you're going to be doing the North American dates here is. Just I can see that explosion just continuing to happen here.
Yeah, it's special now. It's really it really turned out to be something good now. I'm going to tell you, you're the only guy. I've done all these interviews, but I haven't said anybody who the new drummer is. But it's my son.
Oh, really?
He was driving the van, or he was driving the rig around when we were on tour when Nick went out, and he's a drummer. I go, dude, could you learn the set in 3 hours? And he did. I mean, we got away with that show that night. Just like, here, get the sticks and play, and then little by little, he's turned into a monster. And that's what we took to Europe, and people were like, who's that? Who's that? I had the guys from Carcass come. Who's your drummer? Who's that? We want to know who your drummer is. Like, what's my son? They're like, what? It's my kid, the little guy you used to see around. That's him. So, but you're the only guy that knows that now. No one asks, and I don't tell anybody. But there it is. You're the only one.
Oh, well, thank you for letting me in on that. I was so curious about that, knowing what happened.
No one asked me. They asked about Nick Barker being out, and I said, he's sick. What could we, feel the best for him, whatever. But no one asked who the new guy is. And if I told them, they would know. They would know who he is anyways. Just some kid picked up the sticks and just blew it away.
That's just incredible to me, because I've been playing drums myself since I was 9 years old. There's no way I could learn a full set like that in 3 hours. That just shows the power and the passion of what he's capable of.
He just learned it, and like Shane was like, wow, this guy could play. And then he kept getting better and better, and now he's just killing it.
Oh, so how long has he been playing?
Since he was like 9, 10.
Oh, that
but then it was like he didn't like he didn't like to play father's music. Kids don't like their parents' music, and so he never really did the metal thing. He was doing like other stuff, whatever, and this and that. And then all of a sudden, now you got to learn the double kick and the blast, and could you do it? And he went in there with guts, and he did it. Not scared at all. I mean, because usually you see a guy up there and they just choke, and I go, he's gonna choke, and I'm gonna feel bad. And no, he came through, and so we kept him. Let's keep going with you.
Oh, that's just incredible, and
when you
it's
see
so
him,
cool
you'll
to
see
see a family like that.
Yeah, and one of the other singers, the Pinchy Peach, is my cousin, so it's like turning into a family thing now.
And it works so well. Like I've seen a couple videos on YouTube so far, but obviously that doesn't do it justice. But I can just tell by everything that's going on stage, and the crowd just getting into it. It's just it's so cool to see that lineups going on.
Yeah, our shows leave a lot of people happy, even though a lot of them don't know what we're saying. But it just tends to make it's a good time. I can't explain it, but people leave really happy.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it could be a real downer. What we sing about, so we can make it a real downer show. But we try to make it upbeat and happy, and it's getting done.
Well,
we could make it a real downer if we wanted to, but no, we do it. We do what we have to do to make it a happy time.
Well, I'll definitely know if something's going on if you guys start doing some funeral doom for the next album.
Funeral doom. Now that you said that, it might happen. Funeral doom. Oh boy.
Oh, that's great. So getting back into this album in particular, one thing that I truly love about the album, obviously audibly I love everything that's going on, but visually as well too. I definitely love the album cover that you guys have this time around. It's just so striking, and it just fits so perfectly for the music. How did that come about?
Well, we didn't want to do a dead body thing anymore. That's like 30 years ago, and now every band has a dead body on their. We figured that's not going to work. So we found this old Aztec god of the dead, of the god of hell, and took that stone picture of him and put our Coco Loco mascot over it to modernize it, so it's a modern god of the dead.
Oh, that's so cool. And like I said, it fits so perfectly. I mean, obviously it's a change, but it fits so well.
Yeah, I love the Esto means this is Brujeria, and it just works with that cover. I think it's good too.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And of course, along with that, there's been a single that's been released so far, and it's such a great song off the album. I thought it was a fantastic choice to be able to start with that as the first single.
Oh, right. It's like a happy party song, about drugs. It's about your drugs being cut. Like all the drugs you get are cut. I'm like, oh, it's killing me. And if you've seen the video intro, you'll see, an example of what we're talking about. That wasn't a stage. That wasn't a stage video. That just happened like on a tour like a couple years ago, whatever. And it just turned out to be a perfect intro for the song.
Yeah, I love that intro so much, and I
My
love how it's used in there, and then it's also at the end as well. It's just like it fits so perfectly.
did you see the video? We actually have the
Oh
video of
yeah,
that happen.
oh yeah,
That's the my eyes. Like, oh god, that's so Nick Parker. That is so him.
oh I just love that so much, and it just seems like you guys just have such a great time when you're together, and I love seeing that.
It's all about the good time together. It's since day one. It's always been like, hey, we got together. They had different schedules are messed up, and you only get like 3 days out of the year to see each other, and we go in there and get these things done. And it's it comes across. You could hear it in the music. It's like it may be some crazy subjects or whatever, but it's still like a happy ending. We're all happy in there doing it, and even though it sounds like the first one sounded like crap recorded, we would go into the studio and know nothing. We'd write and record the songs, mix them right there the same day, so it sounded really rough. But with the image we were given with the band being Mexican cartel guys, and it was perfect. I mean, it was like recorded in a ranch, like, whoa, it was, and everything just worked out with whatever we were given. We made it work.
Yeah, and I just think about that through like all the albums, all the splits, all the singles that have been released so far, and just seeing the culmination of all of that to now in 2023, and just like hearing that, like the production, the mixing, the mastering just fits so perfect. Like it's clear, but it's still raw and brutal at the same time, and it's hard to get that perfect balance. But I really feel like it really hits it on this album.
Yeah, yeah. The vocals are always the raw, rude, messed up thing. The musicians, they want to get it, now with the computers and all that, they want to get as tight as they can. I want to, show people how tight I could play, and so to me, it's kind of hard to get the vocals to work, but it just happens. I mean, it just happens.
Yeah, and
I mean, I'm not like a schooled singer or anything. I'm just the guy who knew Spanish at the beginning, and I just sing along with what I feel is what the music makes you feel like, and it's been working the whole time.
oh yeah, and you can definitely feel that throughout the whole progression of the band. And again, like I keep mentioning, like with the new albums, just everyone feels so tight together, but it feels real at the same time. And like you mentioned, it's just like having the raw vocals on top of that does bring in that real feel behind it. Like I'm glad to see that spirit is still alive.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is like the vocals hit, and like I said, I'm not a school. I don't have good timing. All that crap they talk about. It just if it sounds good to me, it's good enough. And it works. So it might blow some musicians' minds, but overall, it does work. It sounds good and does work.
Yeah, and that's what matters. I mean, obviously, it's going to get better over time as like you start to pick up little pieces here and there, but still,
Right.
just being able to take that from yourself and just be able to progress through that through all this time, that's just incredible to me.
Right. Like, remember, it started like I'm the guy who knew Spanish, so I'll be the singer. I had no other bands, no background, nothing. I just, like I said, I'm just the guy who knew Spanish. So okay, you're the singer. All right, let's go.
Oh, that's so great. So, yeah, like you mentioned earlier, of course, you just finished up over in Europe, and the North American tour is going to be coming up. Is there anything else planned that's coming up in the future?
Just touring. Yeah, not just touring right now. Start with the new record tour and start and hope it works, and hope we get some good touring out of it, or something comes up, or whatever. Maybe it becomes like Metallica or something. I don't know. Slayer opens for us. I don't know. Something like that might happen. I don't know.
That
But we're
would be
probably, whatever we could get out of it, whatever, we know it's going to be good, and we're not going to, try to milk it or whatever. But if it's good, it's good, and we'll keep playing it.
oh, for sure. So, going a little deeper into that, I mean, obviously, over in Europe, being able to do a full album in its entirety, like, what is it like outside of that, being able to decide a set list? Because obviously, there's a lot of songs to be able to choose from now.
Well, we do the Matando Güeros album, and it's like 30 minutes. Okay, we're done. So we go off stage and people think it's over, and we come back and do like the hits from the other records, like another second half of the show with other songs, and it works great because people are all excited and oh, what happened? They're done. The record's done, and come back and start playing the hits that they all know, and it's really fun. The shows are really fun, and like I said, after people are happy as shit, even though most of them didn't understand what we're saying, but they get the feel of it, and it makes them feel happy and excited.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, from seeing the songs that you're playing and of course the energy and the new lineup that's going on right now, being able to revitalize things once again. I mean, it feels like such a great time to be a part of the band with the new album and touring and everything that's going on.
Right. Yeah, my kid just came in. He's like 30 years old. I mean, he's young for us, but he came in and just added energy beyond our. Everybody just got tight with it, and a bunch of old guys turned young again. So it's a good thing. It's in a good place right now.
Oh, absolutely. And I can't wait to see what inspiration and creativity will come from that in the future, because especially when you get that revitalization, I mean, there's some good things that can really come from that.
Yeah. I can't wait, because before it was like, oh, let's get this over with, blah blah blah, and then now it's like I can't wait, can't wait to get out there.
Oh, for sure. And I think with that, I think that's a fantastic note to end on. I think we covered a lot of great ground, and I want to thank you so much again for taking the time to do this. This is an interview I've wanted to do ever since I started doing interviews, and I'm so happy to been able to talk to you, talk about the band, talk about the new album, the touring lineup, everything that's going on in your world right now. I can't thank you enough for that.
I don't do that many interviews, so very since the beginning. Like, I think the first 3 records I did none. So it's good to get out and meet people like you and help you out.
Well, it truly means a lot, and it was a fantastic time. Had a lot of great laughs and smiles, and learned a lot of great stuff from you. And it's making me appreciate the album even more, and the upcoming touring that's going to be going on, and everything to look forward to in the future. We covered so much, and yeah, again, I can't thank you enough for that. And thank you.
Yeah, well, my one tip of the day, I'll leave you with this: is learn Spanish, or find somebody who knows Spanish and give them one of the records, so you could it'll open up a whole new door for you. And I'd love to see your face when that happens, but that's my tip of the day.
I'm definitely going to be looking into that. So I do have a few friends that are fluent in Spanish, and I think I'm going to have to do that.
Just hand it to them and see what they say. They could play it. Once they play it, they're done. But just looking at it and looking at the titles will get them.
Oh, I'm already looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a tip of the day.
Oh, awesome. Well, again, one last time, thank you so much for this.
Right on.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do this, and just thank you for this, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you. It was fun. I like your title. I like you, man. You're a good guy.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I absolutely likewise. Again, I have more appreciation for the band and the album and everything after doing this.
Right on. I hope your fans do the same.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to show this off. Well, again, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, guy.
Bye-bye.